Ein Haus in Japan besitzen. Wohl der Traum jedes Japan-Fans. Doch was ist, wenn ich euch sage, dass ein Hauskauf in Japan für Nicht-Japaner so realistisch wie noch nie ist? Denn tatsächlich gibt es in Japan gerade, vor allem durch den demografischen Wandel, ca. 10 Millionen leerstehende Häuser, die es relativ günstig zu kaufen gibt, in manchen Fällen sogar kostenlos. Um mehr über das Thema, wie es ist, als Ausländer ein Haus in Japan zu kaufen, herauszufinden, habe ich mich mit jemandem getroffen, der genau das gemacht hat. Und dafür bin ich heute hier in Tokio und habe einen Gast dabei.
Hallo meine deutsche Freunde, ich bin Anton and today I'll show you my newly renovated Akiya in Nakano, close to Shinjuku, together with Mr. Nippon.
Wie lange lebst du schon in Japan und kannst du ein bisschen vom Haus erzählen, was für ein Haus es ist?
Jawohl, mein Freund. I've been living in Japan for 5.5 years, but I've been coming and going since 2015, 2016. Fell in love with Japan and I bought my first house less than a year after living here. Yeah, I've been renovating and making old abandoned houses cool again. This house is 53 years old. This was empty for about 3 years. I got the keys to it in February and I finished it about 2.5 weeks ago.
Let's start with a tour.
All right. Yes.
お邪魔します。
お邪魔してください. So you see this.
Wow.
Yes, arigato.
Sehr schön.
Dankeschön, my friend. We removed a lot of walls everywhere, and then instead of putting up new walls, we have these for earthquake safety. It's the same as in my previous house.
What do we have here?
German oak, actually.
German oak. Oh.
Yeah, and some designer chairs bought used from Yahoo auction. It's a full-size kitchen with a full-size dining table. Something that I've been lacking in Japan. Like people spend a lot of time at home, but without a full-size kitchen and without like good lighting, I think it's a shame. So we even have a dishwasher. That's not really the most common thing in Japan.
Oh yeah.
We have the Deutsche Maschine Miele.
Miele.
I think that's the highest end of like dishwashers.
Yeah, for sure.
エレナストディッシュ、このところですね。This place right here. This was filled with grease and that old disgusting fan. And now we have tiles. And removing that one, the old one was... You don't want to do that. As you can see, the entire kitchen, the entire house here is a mix between Japan and my grown-up in Sweden. The first floor and one of the bedrooms on the second floor is more of a Scandinavian feel. But I kept one super Japanese room on the second floor.
Okay, also den werden wir gleich sehen. Davor würde ich erstmal noch mal gerne wissen, was hier ist.
Okay. So this used to be a second door.
Yeah, but it looks really kind of European, Scandinavian. That gives me really kind of the feeling of that I'm in Europe.
It's tiles and there's also like porcelain here.
Yeah.
Maybe it is made in German. I have a grohe kind of like toilet paper that's German. So there are, even though I say it's a Scandinavian inspiration, there's a lot of German elements in here as well.
Wir Deutschen, wir haben überall unsere Hände im Spiel, ne? Egal wo wir sind. Okay, then
here we kept, the bathroom. We kept the same floor. This is something a lot of my Japanese friends find crazy. How do you think this is beautiful? But I think it looks bloody beautiful. But as you see here, like Japanese bathrooms, they're always like, you can take a shower here next to it, or you have a bath right there.
Yeah. That's why you have a chair there. I think for some German people, they don't know what to do with that.
And oh, this was a little bit. But this is a bathing chair. So like Japanese people historically has been going to sento, small bathhouses. They still do. I think that culture kind of died out in Europe in the 60s, 70s at some point. And all sentos have these small chairs. You sit there, you wash yourself, shampoo, or you can stand up as well. I'm more of a stand-up guy when it comes to showering.
Okay, and then...
Yeah, so the same tiles here, like we save these tiles and then we also...
Toilette?
Yes. We also save the tiles here as well. They're blue, Showa mosaic tiles. But yeah, it looks beautiful.
Yeah. Yes. Approved. Then, can we go to the second floor?
We can, if you want to.
I would love to.
I'll follow you.
Love to. Okay.
I'll follow you, Tobi-san.
Okay.
So a lot of these lamps as well is very like, nature is something that I really like. We were greeted by a big maguro stone. So we cut off the first stone and then we put a big, carefully selected maguro stone from Kyoto, from the local stone yard.
Is it expensive to buy? Or?
It's probably the most expensive stone I'll ever buy, but I don't think I've ever paid for stones before.
Auf geht's zum zweiten Stock. Yes.
So this is probably my favorite place in this house. It's super bright and we get a lot of sunlight from the first floor from this place right here. Depending on the time of the day, the sun hits differently, but I think this is a really nice place.
So you can get your morning coffee here.
Yes, you can. Maybe like a little, it would be nice with a little table and a chair here, maybe.
Ja, das finde ich auch sehr cool durchgezogen, konsequent, dass man hier einen Balkon hat, wo man vielleicht auch ein bisschen chillen kann. In Japan ist es oft so, die Balkone werden nur zum Wäscheaufhängen verwendet und hier kann man es ein bisschen nutzen zum Entspannen, denke ich.
Do you want to check out the bedroom where the magic happens?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
My favorite room. Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
You want to give her a ride?
Wow. Can I?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Good job, Tobi. German jump.
Also hier könnte ich gut schlafen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a king size bed. And it's not very common with this size. And we also have a 5-meter ceiling height. That was one of the cool features I saw before purchasing this house. It used to be Oshire here, and then on top, the original ceiling height was about here. When you walk into an old Oshire in old Japanese houses, you can usually, there's like a tenkenko, like a hatch where you can kind of see and inspect what's above. And my immediate idea was to take it away and make a 5-meter ceiling house.
Oh.
Yes.
Now we have the Japanese room, yeah. Was für eine deutsche Person, die jetzt zuguckt, was macht ein japanischer Raum so besonders?
Ein japanischer Raum so besonders ist eine Tatami-Matten.
Oh, yeah.
So, tatami mats on the floor.
Yeah.
To put these ones in, I always work with my local tatami guys. And you can smell, they smell like brand new. Yes. So tatami, and then we have the shoji doors in the windows. We have fusuma here. Don't look inside, it's just storage for now.
Okay. What do we have here?
This is the holy space of Japanese rooms, the tokonoma. And I haven't decided yet what to decorate it with. This room, we didn't change much, but I find this room very peaceful and it's really nice, it's really beautiful.
Okay, so yeah, do we have another thing you want to show us, or?
I can show you the mirrors. So this place right here, like you have a built-in mirror there. It's incredibly hard to clean, by the way. And then you have the built-in mirror on the first floor. It's kind of an illusion. It looks like you have 2 big rocks and big stones down there. But in reality, it's only 1.
Okay, vielen Dank fürs Zeigen des schönen Hauses. Sehr schön geworden.
Ja.
Wirklich really beautiful.
Dankeschön, mein Freund.
Kann ich dir ein paar Fragen noch stellen, wie es ist, als Ausländer hier in Japan ein Haus zu kaufen, zu renovieren?
Ja, wirklich.
Dankeschön. Dann, let's go. Ja, Anton, die Frage, die sich viele Leute stellen, ist, wie kauft man hier so ein schönes Haus in Japan? Wie findet man erstmal so ein Akiya?
So, this is not my first Akiya. I've been buying and renovating these houses basically since I got here. I speak Japanese, I'm integrated in society here, and I'm using very traditional methods. This one, it was listed on the open market. No one wanted to buy it for a long time. And I reached out to a real estate agent and then I bought it through a real estate agent.
What do you think is the key to buy these kind of houses? For example, if a foreigner is watching right now, from Germany.
If you want to buy an Akiya, what's good advice for?
How does he do it? Because is it just possible for foreigners to buy Akiyas? For example, if they don't live in Japan, is it possible to buy an Akiya for them?
So anyone, no matter nationality, can buy houses and real estate in Japan. Land, houses, no matter nationality can buy houses in Japan. Akiya is very hype right now and it's incredibly cheap to buy houses in Japan. Not only Akiyas, I think apartments sometimes can be very cheap. There are many ways to buy these houses, but I think rather than buying a beautiful house, I would think of it as what area are you buying into? So you can see incredibly beautiful Japanese houses online, and it's only $10,000 for this beautiful, majestic Japanese house. But that house is located in Aomori, which is hours and hours away from civilization. And I get it. It's a beautiful house, but just because it's cheap, I wouldn't buy it. I would see it more of as you buy into the community, and if you contribute to that community, more opportunities will arise.
Dann würde mich interessieren, speziell in diesem Haus, Nakano Haus. Ich glaube, die Leute möchten wissen, wie viel kostet es insgesamt? Wie viel hat es ungefähr gekostet?
So this house was about $120,000, including all the fees. And then renovation was not as much, but renovation cost me a lot of money. And I also spent a lot of hours in here. So what we talked about earlier, maybe 800 hours. Let's say you have an hourly payment of 20 euros. That's what? How many thousands, tens of thousands of euros is that? You know?
Yeah.
You invest into the community, and you invest with your time by buying these cheap houses that no one really wants. Because a Japanese developer usually buys these houses before they reach the open market. And a Japanese developer most likely would, if the area is good, if the land is good, if it's in central Tokyo, in many cases they would buy it, demolish it, and just put up a new house there. And that house would be there in a few weeks. And it wouldn't take half a year to renovate it.
Can you explain us maybe why that is? Like in Japan, building a house 20 years, 30 years, then demolishing it, new house all over again.
So in Europe and the US, like a house or real estate is normally an investment. You buy an old house, it's an investment. There is not even on the map to demolish it and build something brand new, unless there's some rich person with some crazy ideas.
Yeah.
In Japan, old houses are looked upon as, think of it as buying an old car. In 20, 30 years, that car is going to be useless.
It decreases in value.
It decreases and it depreciates in value.
Yeah.
So after 20, 30 years, the house has no value anymore, more or less, and is ready to be torn down and build something brand new. Obviously, the climate is different. Germany, Sweden, North America, we have a very dry climate, and there's no termites, there's not as much mold. Humidity is less, and no earthquakes. Now we have the Nankai Torafu, the big earthquake that might hit Tokyo, and that's a little scary. So that's something you have to take in consideration if you're buying an old house to renovate here in Japan.
Summarizing it, what are the top 3 differences in Japanese real estate and housing compared to, let's say, Europe, Sweden or Germany?
So I think the biggest difference is the transparency, or in other words, the lack of transparency in Japan. There is no register for like tracking property data. And with that said, it's hard to understand and see. I mean, this house could have been sold last year, but I would have no idea what they paid for it. Where else there is a register for that anywhere else in the world, really. Second one is that older houses has no value. So people prefer brand new. People want to live in shinchiku, like brand new buildings. And that's like status here as well. Third one is that renovation isn't a thing. It's really hard to like source materials and source things that we're used to elsewhere, like backboards for tiles, waterproof things. They just put in like a kitchen in Japan would be a unit. A bathroom in Japan would be a unit. They make everything so convenient. Japan is all about convenience, and building brand new or building a unit instead of building cabinets or instead of renovating is convenience, and that's preferred in many cases.
In Germany, it's common if you buy a house, you get a loan from a bank and over 20 years you pay it back, or you know,
or 200 years in Sweden.
More. And how is it in Japan? Or how do you do that?
So as a foreigner, as a freelancer, it's super hard to get a loan here. I'm not a permanent resident, but I do pay taxes and I have a working visa here. I have bank loans for this house, for example, to a higher interest. But you do have to declare taxes here for a few years. You have to do things by the book. Everything in Japan takes time. You just got to build trust with the bank. You also got to speak Japanese. I think that's the biggest hurdle. I have many friends who have permanent residency here, but banks have denied them because they cannot speak Japanese.
At the end, for what do you use this house? What's the plan with this Nakano house?
This is going to be an Airbnb. It is an Airbnb. I had my first guests checking out this week actually.
Oh.
And this house would be a part of a small hotel boutique brand called Houses. So check it out on www.japandihouses.com. And this is the second house. And I've built a little team of people who can help me build these houses. So this fall, I'm challenging myself and I'll try to build 2 beautiful houses at the same time. So by the end of the year, I think we'll have 4 Houses.
Also Leute, ne, hier könnt ihr übernachten, hier könnt ihr buchen. Airbnb kann man buchen.
We also just developed a direct booking site as well. But it's all on japandihouses.com.
Schaut gerne vorbei, Leute. Ich lasse einfach mal Links in der Videobeschreibung da. Ich finde es echt super schön hier mit einer Gruppe aus 4 Leuten zum Beispiel. Es ist bestimmt richtig geil hier zu sein. Then they have a story to tell, you know?
Yes.
If they see a video like this and then book it, then that's...
Then they'll get a welcome present when they get here.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. The cool thing is, if you stay at a place like this, the stay itself is an experience, you know?
Yeah. And they have a place to hang out as well, because most of these hotel rooms, they're so crammed and and here they can actually enjoy.
It's just Thank you.
Thank you, Tobi.
Haustour.
Dankeschön, mein Freund.
Dankeschön. Wirklich wunderschönes Haus, super renoviert. Ich liebe das skandinavische Design, aber auch die japanischen Sachen. Also Leute, vielen Dank fürs Zugucken heute. Lasst gerne ein Abo da, lasst ein Like da, schaut gerne bei Anton vorbei, auch bei der Seite vorbei. Wir sehen uns wieder beim nächsten Video. Macht's gut und Peace.
Peace.